Hey guys, welcome to a new video. Do I say that? I don't know. It's Izzy here, and today we are doing my book haul, looking at all of the books that came into my possession in the month of June. There's a lot. I got over 10 free books this month. Free books, you can't pass them up. And we do have some new friends in the background for our summer months because we do have the 4th of July in a month. And yes, the fan is going to be on in this video, so if it gives background noise, I'm sorry, but if you're on the East Coast at the moment, you understand we're in a heat dome. I don't really know exactly what that is. I have been meaning to research it, but it means it's very hot here. So I am, for the benefit of myself and my live audience that are my pets, we are having the fan on. But let's get into this video. As always, I started my month at Barnes & Noble and they were having some great sales, buy one get one 50% off. So my dad got some books as well, and therefore for the sale I had to get an extra book, so I counted that one as a gift. And then I just bought books. I read 15 books last month, so that was my biggest month yet. This month's not my smallest month yet because I've been reading books over 500 pages this month, but I am allowed to buy as many books as I read in the previous month, so I still can buy 3 more books this month, which is like, oh my gosh, I can do that. But the first book I got is a newer release, and that is Sociopath by Patrick Gange, PhD. I'm totally butchering that name, it looks French. But this is a memoir about is it psychiatrist? Is that the kind of doctor this would be? So, but they are like some kind of medical field and a sociopath. So I was looking at how that is as being in the medical field. So a fascinating revelatory memoir recounting the author's struggles to come to terms with her own sociopathy and her drive to shed new light on the often maligned and misunderstood disorder. I've been in kind of a fantasy mood lately, but then I read a 5-star prediction that ended up being a 3-star. Check out my vlogs if you want to know which book that was. So I ended up buying 3 fantasy books. One might be sci-fi, I'm not exactly sure, but they were all on the same table, and again they had that buy one get one 50% off sale. So this is one where I was like, I need another one, and this is what I ended up getting because I didn't know what to get. So I got Jade City by Fonda Lee, and I hope I don't own this book already in storage. It looks like I don't according to Goodreads, but hopefully I don't. And this won the World Fantasy Award, and I've heard great things. It says, for centuries honorable greenbone warriors have used magical jade to enhance their abilities and defend the island of Kekon from foreign invasion. Now the war is over and a new generation vies for control of Kekon's bustling capital city. 4 siblings of the powerful Call family must prepare for battle, and the fragile peace between the clans is about to break. Now here's one I've been wanting to read for years, and the Books with Brittany has been, I think, rereading the series, or she's been reading it, and that is what finally made me bite the bullet. And I was like, the books look so nice in her videos, and that is Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb. This is book 1 of the Farseer trilogy. This is just another huge fantasy world for me to get invested in, and my King George R. Martin did blurb it. So this is young Fitz is the bastard son of the noble Prince Chivalry. Raised in the shadow of the royal court by his father's gruff stableman, Fitz is treated as an outcast by all the royalty except the devious King Shrewd, who has him secretly tutored in the arts of the assassin. For in Fitz's blood runs the magic skill and the darker knowledge of a child raised with the stable hounds and rejected by his family. And this is another book that I saw on Brittany's channel, which is the 3-Body Problem by Chin Lu and translated by Ken Lu. And I saw this book years ago at Kramer's in DC, and it intrigued me, but I didn't buy it because I do think it must have been sci-fi, because I was there in December, and in December I focus on fantasy, or at least I used to. I'm in a reading crisis at the moment, like changing how I do all my reading. So I was mainly buying fantasy books, and I saw this one. I think I took a picture of it. It's winner of the Hugo Award, and now there's a series coming to Netflix, or it might already be on Netflix. And there is really no description on the back. It says, but I do know this like takes place in China and is near future, kind of dystopian. And does it deal with AI? Maybe. I know it just deals with humanity and what it means to be human, and I really like those themes. So, okay, set against the backdrop of China's Cultural Revolution, a secret military project sends signals into space in an attempt to make contact with aliens, and they succeed. An alien civilization on the brink of destruction captures the signal and plans to invade Earth. Now on Earth, different camps start forming, plan to either welcome the superior beings and help them take over a world seen as corrupt, or to fight against the invasion. The result is a science fiction masterpiece of enormous scope and vision. This is the one my dad was buying a nonfiction book, so I was in the nonfiction section, and honestly, I could buy so many. I have so many unread nonfiction books, so I'm trying to add a nonfiction book to my TBR every month just so I can get to them all. And the one that I ended up getting, I love this cover for one. I saw this on TikTok, and it is called Humankind, A Hopeful History by Rutger Bregman. And yeah, right here, it gets compared to Sapiens, which is another nonfiction anthropology book that I really enjoyed, and seeing them be compared, you know, drew me in. But this is, a lot of people are like, the world is awful today and all this. People don't look at the positive things in life, and that drives me up a wall. I usually cut people out if they're not positive. Is that a toxic trait? I don't know, but you have to do what's best for you. So I want to see where the world is going in a positive way, the history of the world in a positive way. I know we can't ignore the negative stuff, but we should always focus on the positive, and that's what drew me to this book. And now we have a random purchase that I probably shouldn't have bought. I probably should have looked more into it, because it's an alt history, and I'm not an alt history person. I don't like alt history. I don't. So this is set, I just saw Imperial Russia and the word Napoleon, and I was like, yes, because I really liked that part of the Napoleon movie, the Russia part, and that's what got me on this whole Russian history kick lately. And so this is Let the Dead Bury the Dead by Alison Epstein, and this one was $5 off. And I mean, this is a great cover for a book and everything, and $5 off, of course I had to do it. So this is an urgent, immersive, alternate history. Like, why did I just read this part and didn't read that. I should have read the bold. So set in an imperial Russia on the brink of disaster, following a surprising cast of characters seeking a better future as St. Petersburg struggles in the wake of Napoleon's failed invasion. And the last book I saw on the banned books table, I was like, ooh, I've been wanting to read that, and my dad was like, get it. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna be buying like 7 books. Crazy. And that is The Bluest Eye by Toni Morrison. I've been recommended Toni Morrison by so many people, and so many books that I absolutely love the writing style of. The authors took inspiration from Toni Morrison, so that gives me hope that I'm really going to enjoy her writing. So Pecola Breedlove, a young black girl, prays every day for beauty. Mocked by other children for the dark skin, curly hair, and brown eyes that set her apart, she yearns for the blonde hair and blue eyes that she believes will allow her to finally fit in. Same. No, but yet as her dream grows more fervent, her life slowly starts to disintegrate in the face of adversity and strife. So we have that one. And then we have my book of the month picks. I got several books there. My main pick for the month though was Honey by Isabel Bonta. And this cover, I opened the package outside just because it'd be easier to take the stuff to the recycling and all. The way the sun was hitting these CDs, I was like, oh my gosh, I just opened a box from heaven. It's so bright shining. But this is about a pop star in the 90s and early 2000s, and I thought that might be a little nostalgic. I love pop music of that time. So an addictive coming-of-age story that follows the meteoric rise of the pop star Amber Young as she navigates fame and self-discovery in the late 90s and early 2000s. I love books about celebrity and all of that, and then the setting really drew me in. The options last month was The Return of Ellie Black by Emiko Jean. This is a thriller, so kind of different for me. This is a missing girl returns, but that isn't the end of the story. It's only the beginning. So this is a debut thriller from bestselling author Emiko Jean. It's both a feminist tour de force about the embers of hope that burn in the aftermath of tragedy, and a twisty page-turner that will shock the readers right up until the final page. So hopefully that's true. I did get a historical fiction. Y'all know I had to do it, and I've been seeing this book a lot of places, and that is Real Americans by Rachel Kwong. And This one is right up my alley, let me tell you. So this is an exhilarating novel of American identity that spans 3 generations in one family and asks what makes us who we are and how inevitable are our futures. So y'all know I love generational cells. That's why I had to get this one. If you've been watching this channel a while, you know I struggle with young adult fantasy, or at least I have in the past. But one I've heard great things about from other people who have the same problems that I do is Legendborn by Tracy Deonn. And I did not realize that Tracy Deonn is from Central North Carolina. And that's so cool. Love supporting my fellow Carolinians. So this is a fantasy, and it's after her mother dies in an accident. 16-year-old Bree Matthews wants nothing to do with her family members or childhood. A residential program for bright high schoolers at USC Chapel Hill, why did I not even know that, seems like the perfect escape until Bree witnesses a magical attack her very first night on campus. So what else? Oh, I guess this is the last paragraph. She recruits Nick, a self-exiled Legendborn with his own grudge against the group, and their reluctant partnership pulls them deeper into the society's secrets and closer to each other. But when Legendborn reveal themselves as the descendants of King Arthur's knights and explain a magical war is coming, Bree has to describe how far she'll go for the truth and whether she should use her magic to take the society down or join the fight. And lastly, I was just going through my Amazon wish list, seeing which books I can take off and seeing which ones I could get at Target, because Target's just a really good place to buy books. We'll talk about that later. And seeing which ones I could get at Book of the Month, because Book of the Month is ultimately the cheapest place to buy hardback books in my experience, unless I'm getting them for free, which we will get to that. And one I saw on there is The Comeback by Ella Berman. This is a contemporary fiction, again, following a famous person. So a deep dive into the psyche of a young actress raised in the spotlight under the influence of a charming, manipulative film director, and the moment when she decides his time is up. Of course, I had to go to Target this month, and they had this book for 30% off, a hardback for 30% off, fun. And that is Just Another Missing Person by Jillian McAllister. This is one that I also saw a lot on TikTok. We have a girl who goes missing, and the last time she's seen, she's going into a dead-end alley that has CCTV, is that what it's called, security camera footage, and is never seen again. She's going into an alley with no exit. That's my favorite thriller of last year, but is never seen again. And I'm so curious, how did all that work? What I'm thinking theories in my head right now. Where did this missing person go? At Barnes & Noble this month, I was looking for a certain book and they didn't end up having it. So I had to get that book on Amazon, and it's one I am just so excited for. I read an excerpt on Amazon, or on Google Books, I guess. I don't know, one of those. And I read like 7 pages of it, and I was like, I want to read this whole book right now. So I had to wait till I went to Barnes & Noble. They didn't have it there, so then I had to order it and had to wait. And that is Rushka by Edward Rutherford, and I own other books by this author. You might see them back there, but this one just really gripped me. It's spanning over 1,800 years of history, people, politics, and culture, all in Russia, and I just really want to get to this one. The writing was so good. I did go to Goodwill a few weeks ago, and I did find one book, and that is The Druids by Peter Bursford Ellis, and this is a nonfiction all about the Druid people in Europe. Target did have their buy one get one 50% off sale, just like Barnes & Noble was having, but they did have it at Target as well. So I did pick up 2 books that were a part of that. The first one being Daughters of Shandong by Eve J. Chung, and this one was also 30% off, and it's a Target book club pick. This is set in China right after World War II, and there's a civil war about communism and just where they wanted Chinese politics to go, and it's a generational tale, so you know all that is right up my alley. Lastly, at Target, I got Everything I Know About Love by Dolly Alderton. This is her memoir about life in her 20s, and I've heard that it's really relatable. Lastly, we have all of the free books that I got at little libraries this month. I will be doing YouTube shorts on going into each of these little libraries and all of that, so do stay tuned. That will probably be up sometime in the next 2 weeks. But first, I went to Charlotte and some of the suburban towns like Waxhaw and all in that area. So the first one I got is that I got 3 books at this one little library. She's my favorite little library in the Carolinas, so that I've been to. And the first one is Unburied Carol by Josh Malerman. And this one really reminded me of Kindred by Octavia Butler. So Carol Evers is a woman with a dark secret. She has died many times, but her many deaths are not final. They are comas, a walking slumber indistinguishable from death, each lasting days. And that's all I read, and I was like, ooh, kind of sounds like Kindred. Let's see what this one's going to be about. And this box, the woman who runs it works in the book industry, so there's always a lot of arcs there. Now these this time around are books that are already published, but you know, I thought it was kind of cool to get an arc. So this is What's Mine and Yours by Namina Coster, and this one actually takes place in Piedmont, North Carolina, and that really intrigued me since I was in North Carolina when I was picking this book up. And the last one from that box is also an arc called Translation State by Anne Leckie. This is a sci-fi, so these aliens, they are having to find, so the Prescar are the most dangerous aliens in the universe, and the fragile peace between them and humanity is maintained by those known as the translators. When one translator goes missing, that peace is threatened, and the disappearance sets 3 lives on a collision course that will have a ripple effect across the stars. Went to another free little library that is at like this community center in a neighborhood, and I saw a New York book review edition, and I don't know why I'm drawn to these. I need to learn, because sometimes I've bought like Penguin Classics. I was like, ooh, Penguin Classic, have to buy. But this one actually might be a possible 5-star prediction with a twist. Stay tuned for that. So this is The Foundation Pit by Andrei Platonov. And let me read y'all the part. When I read this, I gasped out loud. So, a team of workers have been given the job of digging the foundation of an immense edifice, a palatial home for the perfect future that they are convinced is at hand. But the harder the team works, the deeper they dig, the more things go wrong. And it becomes clear that what is being dug is not a foundation, but an immense grave. Oh my gosh, that's gonna be crazy. So then I went to another box that was at another community center in a neighborhood, and I got this one that is Here I Am by Jonathan Safran Foer, and I saw that it takes place in Washington, D.C. with a fracturing family in a moment of crisis, and that there's earthquakes in the Middle East, and I've been really liking the Middle Eastern setting lately, but all those things really drew me in. That same box, I got Fall on Your Knees, and this is by Anne-Marie MacDonald, and this is part of Oprah's book club, and Oprah hasn't done me wrong yet. So I'm trusting Oprah with her book club picks, maybe not some other things. So this is The Piper family is steeped in secrets, lies, and unspoken truths. At the eye of their storm is one secret that threatens to shake their lives, even destroy them. So this is set in Nova Scotia, and it's a multi-generational saga, and y'all know those are all the words you have to say to get me to buy a book. Not buy, because I got it for free. At that same box, I got Sunset Song by Lewis Grassic Gibbon, and this was voted the best Scottish book of all time, and y'all know I love Scotland. So this is, since its first publication in 1932, Sunset Song has been regarded as one of the most important novels ever written in Scotland, and it has retained its power to shock and to inspire ever since. The last one in Charlotte, I got Little Women by Louisa May Alcott. I don't even know what Little Women's about, but I want to watch some of the adaptations of it, but I want to read the book before I do that. So Little Women is the story of 4 girls, Pretty Meg, Headstrong Jo, Sweet Beth, and Spoiled Amy, growing up with plenty of spirit but little money during the Civil War era in New England. I've never thought about the Civil War in New England, so that's an intriguing setting. And then I did go to the beach, Ocean Isle Beach, this weekend, and I went to every little library on the island, but only ended up getting 2 books. The first being The Power of One by Bryce Courtney, and this is the classic novel of South Africa, and that's all I needed to know because I haven't read a book that takes place in South Africa, so again, the setting intrigued me. And lastly, I got Septitemia. I don't know, I can barely read that font, and when it's not really a real word, I'm just guessing. And this is by Jonathan Levi, is that who it is? Yes, so this is for his first novel since 1992, that's irrelevant. So it's set in England in 1978, and we're going through 50 years of this person's life, and I mean the Pope's there, and 9/11 and all this crazy stuff, and I was like, okay, we're following this person all through their life, and they seem to go on a lot of adventures, so why not try it? It's for free. So those are all of the books I got this month. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you made it all the way through, leave a beachy emoji in the comments below. And as always, comment, rate, and subscribe. Don't forget to ring that notification bell to be notified when all my videos go live. And I'm gonna have a special message at the end of this video for a cause that is very close to my heart. So I hope you guys stay tuned to watch that and potentially help. Bye. Hey guys, recently I was invited to the Darlington County Humane Society in Darlington, South Carolina. This is Sherman, one of the dogs I got to meet. There are plenty of dogs there, and he is one of them. There are cats as well who are looking for homes. This is a shelter that is at over capacity in rural South Carolina, so a lot of these animals are very, very urgent. So I would highly recommend you guys looking at helping, adopting, fostering, volunteering, or donating. I will leave a link to their website down below because these animals, they deserve so much, and I would just like for them to find homes and just to get help, because my animals mean so much to me, and to know they were in situations like this before, and those animals bring me so much joy, and I know that these animals can as well. So I would really, really like for you guys to help these animals. As I said, you can adopt, volunteer, or donate, foster, whatever works best for you. Even just sharing some of their posts on social media would be awesome. I hope you guys feel moved to help. Thank you.